Solar probe sends back first image and data from the sun. NASA's Parker Solar Probe survived its first swoop around our star and will get even closer on its next 24 trips. And this is the image of the corona of the sun from the Parker Solar Probe, NASA, Naval Research Laboratory Parker Solar Probe, and you can see along basically just above the horizon from the left looking towards the right, there's a slant of, well, there's a sunny, something of a white dot there. It must be a sun in the distance. And to the left and to the right of that flanking are huge, it looks like huge dots of dark matter. They must be, to me, it could be other planets. And above that dotted area, the sun, of a sun or something, you see at what looks like equidistant spaces of things that look basically the same size. What are those things? I have no idea, but there's a lot more questions that have arisen from this image. This is by Jason Daly on Smithsonian. In August, NASA launched the Parker Solar Probe. It was a mission to get up close and personal with our sun, and between October 31st and November 11, the probe made its first flyby through the outer atmosphere of the sun. And we're just now getting data from this close encounter, including the probe's first glamorous shots of the sun. They were recently shared by the mission scientists at the American Geophysical Union annual conference. Jonathan Amos at the BBC explains that the fiery image was captured November 8th from about 16.9 million miles above the star, and in the photo, plasma, the energetic gas that makes up much of the sun, can be seen flowing from the sun's surface, while mercury, which appears as the bright dot passes by. The snapshot was taken by the Wide Field Imager for Solar Probe, a telescope designed to take images of the sun's corona and inner heliosphere, as well as solar wind and other features. The image and the information, the data that accommodate it, represent a huge step forward. Quote, heliophysicists that have been waiting more than 60 years for a mission like this to be possible, Nicola Fox, director of Heliophysics Division at NASA, says, quote, the solar mysteries we want to solve are waiting in the corona, end quote. The first trip of data is just a tiny taste of information researchers hope to get from the probe, and ultimately, Fox tells Dora Eileen Salazar at space.com the team wants the craft to sample the particles, magnetic and electric fields in the corona to understand better what that means. He says, they say we need to go into the region to be able to sample the new plasma, the newly found form of material, to be able to see that what process, what physics is taking place there. Fox tells Amos, we want to understand why there is this temperature inversion, as in you walk away from a hot star and the atmosphere gets hotter or colder as you would expect. The sun-kissing probe also has two other major missions. First, it will measure solar wind, which are, of course, the outflows of particles that whip off the sun and interact with the planets and other objects in the solar system. And the big question is how solar wind is able to stream off the sun so quickly, moving at up to 1 million miles an hour. The team will also study solar energetic particles which are ejected from the sun at the half the speed of light. Of course, answering questions like this means getting specialized instruments as close to the sun as possible. The probe is already as close to the sun as a human-made device has ever gotten, and will eventually get even closer. Salazar at space.com reports that Parker will conduct 24 orbits around the sun, including its closest flyby, which will bring it just 3.7 miles off the surface, about 1/8 the distance between Mercury and the sun, which will send back some truly incredible data. They say we don't know what to expect so close to the sun until we get the data, and we'll probably see some new phenomena. This is what Noor Raouafi, project scientist at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab, says in his statement. Quote, Parker is an exploration mission. The potential for new discoveries is huge. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.